Happy Friday, hooligans! We got a vlog to shoot. Before, let's just jump right into The Walking Dead. So, I'm not going to go into the whole episode or anything. I am going to talk about certain points. Or at least that last scene, you know what I mean? So, with Jesus and the Whisperers and his fight and everything, to me, it actually is the perfect ending for him. Because, if you remember, when we met Jesus, he was kind of bringing in new characters. He was from the hilltop and everything, but he was also familiar with the Saviors and Negan, so new characters and new threats. With this, it's he kind of goes out in the same way. You know what I mean? Magna's group is finally, just joined in with Michonne and was hey, we're gonna fucking help you. But also, we have this new threat in the Whisperers. I saw a couple people asking or whatever, how would the knife go all the way through Jesus's chest? There was a lot of force behind that. I'm gonna put the scene up on the screen and everything. Look, this wasn't just a simple duck around and just go with the momentum. This was a duck down and fucking wham into the side. And then even once it's already in, you see the force that the Whisperer pushes against it with again to push it all the way through. The Whisperers are not a group of people that, you know, in a way can be reasoned with and you know, everything's calm and logical. They are very savage, very animalistic. They are nothing like Negan and the Saviors. I do stand corrected though. The scene that I thought was beta was actually the Whisperer that stabbed Jesus and everything. Oh, and also, am I the only one who finds it ironic, you know, that Jesus gets stabbed in his side? You know what I mean? If you're not familiar with the Bible or anything, just it definitely makes sense. And The Walking Dead has always kind of incorporated a little things from different religions throughout the show. Just to kind of switch gears kind of quick, we're gonna talk about Henry really quick, because it's actually kind of cool the fact that he's going with certain storylines of Carl's and how they are changing. That moment we see with him and Carol, I believe it was this episode or the last episode, that in the comics that takes place between Rick and Carl when they have to say goodbye to each other and whatever. But with that being changed, I was actually thinking about something. Lydia, part of the Whisperers. It would be super interesting, and it will make sense, hear me out, if instead of Lydia being a younger girl and Henry kind of romantically getting involved with her somehow, I think it would be interesting if Lydia was more of an adult and she was actually she was the one talking to Daryl through that the bars and stuff and saying you know you belong out here or whatever. I think, and it would make sense because Daryl is used to being on his own. He is used to living out there and everything. And I think it's going to be one of these things where Daryl's going to kind of feel this connection because she is out there where he's used to, not in these communities and stuff. You know what I mean? But we did for sure see Beta in the next half of the season, trailer and everything. Ryan Hurst looks badass as Beta. I'm just gonna say that. The one thing that I was kind of confused about, his clothes seem pretty clean. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but whatever. I can't wait to see him and Daryl fight. Holy shit, that looks so good. But that 100% is Beta. And the scene where you see all the Whisperers sitting outside of, I think it's Hilltop, might be Alexandria. And you see the bald-headed lady or person going through and kind of putting her hands on the shoulders as she goes through. That is Alpha. That's the leader of the Whisperers. And yeah, again, something totally different to deal with, good folks. But either way, this mid-season finale was super dope. I loved it. It felt really like a horror movie. It was so cool. And also when the Whisperer stabs Jesus and whispers in his ear you are where you don't belong, and they're fighting in a graveyard, it's hey, you're alive right now, you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Either way, I can't wait. February 10th is when The Walking Dead returns, and we'll be back with our recaps and breakdowns and nerd outs about it. Oh goodness. But for now, let's get to the rest of the vlog. So, last night I got to check out a movie called The Night Comes For Us. It actually stars Iko Uwais and Joe Taslim. If I messed up either of those names, I apologize. But either way, you might recognize both of these gentlemen from the first Raid movie. Well, Iko Uwais was also in the second one, but either way. I love this movie. Honestly, like, I've always been a fan of just kind of like different action movies and kung fu movies like my whole life, but like I feel like things changed when we saw Ong Bak, sorry, with Tony Jaa when he was doing like Muay Thai and stuff, and then the Raid comes around and we're seeing like, I think it's called Pencak Salat. I might have messed that up, but I'm sorry, I'm a white Canadian, don't hold it against me. But it's just like, oh my goodness, even in this movie there was actually different martial arts. There was some jujitsu in there. There was like Muay Thai and everything. It was, oh my goodness, like the fight scenes that I don't know who's doing all of these movies or if that's just like the Indonesian style, but oh my god, I love it. The Night Comes For Us is about a man named Ito, and he is part of like a triad group called the 6 C's. He has a change of heart, and this isn't really spoiling anything because this is in the trailer and everything for it, but he has like a change of heart, and he rescues this little girl, and basically from that point on, the triads are like, well, now you gotta die, Ito, and that little girl has to as well. Well, Iko Uwais plays Ito's like childhood best friend and everything, and it's actually really cool to see him in that kind of light instead of just being like the good guy of the movie. But oh my goodness, it just makes for such an interesting dynamic between the two. Like childhood friends are now like on these opposite sides of just like this one mission that is either going to end in life or death for one of them. And like I don't know how like the audiences on that side of the world like feel about these gentlemen, but even just from the first Raid movie, like Joe Taslim was one of my favorite characters of that movie, and seeing him and Iko Uwais like actually fight in this one, I was fucking so excited to see that. I don't know, my goodness, folks. Honestly, like the story was really good. I loved the action scenes and everything. It's from beginning to end, it's one of those things where it's just a fun ride. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a lot of blood. You're gonna get splashed. You're gonna get splashed a little bit, but you're gonna have fun. It's on Netflix, good folks, so go check it out. And for those folks out there with 4K TVs, it's available in 4K. Trust me, the blood looks extra bright. I gotta get back into doing movie reviews.
Eventually.
Well, today kind of turned out to be not really what I expected. I was hoping I was gonna just be able to do like a video game kind of video or whatever. Regular vlog, as it were. And then it just seemed like things were happening like left and right. So it just kind of messed with like my creative mode or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just messed with my mentality. But before we wrap the vlog up, there's something I'm gonna talk about that doesn't have to do with me. So Netflix has officially canceled Daredevil after 3 seasons. This comes after canceling Defenders and Iron Fist and Luke Cage as well. I don't know if like Disney and Marvel are kind of doing something where they're just gonna try and take all their stuff off of Netflix and other things and put it only on their new streaming service that they're gonna be doing, or it's one of those things where they're kind of canceling all these other ones and only focusing on these new like MCU shows that they're doing, which if that's the case, that kind of sucks, because like Daredevil and Punisher, like, wow, they're just so good. Like I said, if it's only like an MCU kind of thing, like I don't know. We know they'll branch out sometimes and do like the rated R Deadpool and stuff like that, but I just don't know, folks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And that's where we wrap today's vlog. I apologize that there's not more to it today, but at least we got something. Hope you enjoyed it. Mucho love for coming to hang out. It's mucho appreciated. Make sure you subscribe, comment below. Might not get a reply, but I do read them all, and I show it some love, or I click the thumbs up, just so you folks know that I've seen it as well. Yeah, links in the description if you want to support the channel any further. Now we'll catch you folks soon. All my quiet kids, freaks, and weirdos, for the love of everybody, keep being weird.